Hi there, it's the Common Magician. I want to show you just something very simple and quick. Very, very simple idea. I've got a Morgan silver dollar here. They are somewhat rare, but you can get them pretty readily. You just have to pay a little bit for them, somewhere between $30 to $40. You can buy these on even on an online store like Amazon or something like that. I just want to show you something really quick and interesting with it. If we take the coin and rub it right here in the air, you'll see that it is gone. It's gone, completely vanished, but not too far. It's good to be with you again. I've been extremely busy over the last few months. It seems like we shouldn't be that busy right now, given the circumstance we're in, but actually I've been extremely busy. So I haven't had a lot of time to think about next steps and to make more videos, but I have some time right now. So I decided to create something short for you, and I said it was something simple. This is something very simple, and I think it would be useful for those of you out there that have an interest in doing some coin magic, but you are a little bit reluctant because of the various complicated mechanics of doing coin magic and the sort of the dirtiness of it. That issue where when you have a coin and you're manipulating it, you're always caught kind of in a dirty situation where you have to hide it in some way, sort of out in the open. That's not necessarily the way it needs to be. There are some alternatives in coin magic to having to mask the presence of a coin in the hands using complicated positions and sleights that are complicated to get into and out of cleanly and efficiently without looking awkward. And we're going to look at that right now, but we're going to look at this in the context of this plot that I had recently been talking about, which is the impossible location. The premise of this little series of ideas is that the concept of the impossible location is really simple. It's not nearly as difficult as a lot of people make it. And what complicates it for most people is that they feel that they have to have the thing that they're dealing with at the beginning of the trick, or at least immediately before the magic happens. They need to have that thing be the exact same thing that shows up in the impossible location. Such that you have to have a signed card that is signed right here, right now, or a signed coin or something like that, or something that is identified right here, right now, and it's obviously the only thing of its kind, and it has to be the thing that shows up in an impossible place. And I think that sort of, just to say, a lot of people feel that way even without making something so identifiable, right? That is to say that if you're just working with a deck of cards or just a coin like we are right now, that the best solution, the most mature solution to the problem is to have the actual card or the actual coin that is freely selected or whatever, borrowed, be the exact thing that shows up at the end. There's no reason for that, right? There are ways to dress this up and mask it such that you can use a duplicate. That the duplicate solution is really probably the very best, most accessible solution, and it can be as magical as any other solution if you do it right. So we're looking at this really in the context of coins. This could be a penetration or an impossible location, which is really the same thing when you get down to it, that an object is found in a place where it really shouldn't be or can't be. But at the same time, it seems plausible that there was a way to get it there. Somehow, but you can't see it happening. So we're looking at this with a coin, and again, this is for those of you who are reluctant to do coin magic. I'm fairly reluctant to do a lot of coin magic. If I do a coin trick, it's going to be probably in the context of sitting down with family or friends, and it's kind of a one-off sort of thing, kind of like what you see here. Just done. Do one trick rather than a routine, but just one kind of simple sort of presentation, and then we move on with life. So if that's up your alley, this is an idea that you could use. Again, I hate having to manipulate a coin such that you have to hide it, in plain sight and keep it hidden away. I run in circles with people that are very intrusive. They're wonderful people. They're bright people, but they will pester and call you out and want to see the other hand and, open that up further. No, wait, I just saw some, it's just those kind of folks, right? And usually that is the way it is when you're dealing with people that are close to you, family, friends, people that know you well, okay? When you're dealing with strangers, you're less likely to run into that. So if you're doing kind of something on the street, and you're dealing with complete strangers, you're more likely to get people that are passive in their viewing. So this is for you. If you're like me and you're kind of in that boat, and you don't have a lot of time to put into really mastering sleights well enough that you can fool really just anybody with them, then this is for you. We're going to use a duplicate. I have another coin sitting right here, and it's very important that it be a steel replica. It cannot be, or at least a coin that has steel in it. It needs to be magnetic. It needs something that can be attracted by a magnet. Because what we're using is the idea of a holdout. This is a magnet. I made this one. This is just a large magnet, very powerful magnet. And I wrapped it with some masking tape to soften it, and then some electrical tape. And I took kind of a clip here, a little plastic clip I had from an old glasses case that I just stuck on there, the simple kind of pocket glasses cases that have the little clips on it. And what you can do is you can clip this on a belt or on a pocket. What I actually prefer to do with it is that I just stick it in my back pocket. So if I stick it in my back pocket and lay it way down on the bottom, it's actually right about where my hand reaches. When my hand comes around to the back, my hand goes right here. And what you can do with this is that if you have a coin, you can fairly quickly ditch it in a very fast move without raising up or getting underneath, folds of clothing. You can just kind of reach around pretty quickly and efficiently and just deposit the coin, and it will stay in that spot. Now, it doesn't leave you completely clean in that you do have a coin hanging on your backside, but what the idea is it gets you about as clean as a thumb tip, right? That you might have something sort of available for people to see, but there's no reason to go looking for it. And if you have it held out in that place, it's a simple matter of when you have opportunity after the revelation, it's a simple matter of grabbing it, reaching up, and then dipping it back into your back pocket. You can ditch it completely. So this hopefully this idea would be accessible to many of you that are reluctant to do coin magic. A simple way to ditch without having to get to a pocket. And you can do it very quickly and efficiently. So again, this is the presentation. This is what we're doing. We've got a coin to start sitting right here. And part of what makes this good in terms of an impossible location is that it is a rare coin. It's something that is unusual. Even a Eisenhower silver dollar is more unusual today, and you can get an Eisenhower silver dollar in steel, a steel replica of those as well. That makes something somewhat unique and less likely for there to be a duplicate, right? And that's just enough of a layer that this sort of works pretty well. If that's not your style, you can certainly get a steel quarter, right? And you can use a steel quarter, and you could even borrow a quarter from someone. Going back to one of the previous tutorials that I gave with a card, a signed card, you could put some gibberish maybe on a steel quarter, a duplicate that you have. And you could go through the process of swapping out a signed quarter that is borrowed for the steel one, depositing the original quarter in a place, when people are unaware with some misdirection. Maybe as you show a handkerchief or something, you could take your duplicate, your original quarter, and you have your steel one with gibberish on it covered by your thumb, and you could demonstrate that there's nothing underneath the handkerchief or whatever the case may be, and then you could deposit it and then go through the process and then deposit your coin. Whatever, you can find a way to do this to make it a little bit more personal, a little bit more maybe impossible, but the premise is still the same no matter what. So you have your coin. You just need to do some kind of a false transfer. So the one that I did is I did a false pick, right? I had it sitting in my hand in sort of palming position, so sitting in the palm right here, so that I could reach down, pretend to pick up the coin, and then I go south with the coin. And before I even do my next action with this hand, I've already ditched the coin on my magnet. Okay, so again, you want this to be a fairly powerful magnet. You can buy things like this. I've seen some of them on the market, a ditching sort of tool that is made out of a magnet and a clip. Really, you just need the magnet. You don't even need to have a clip. If you just go get a really good, strong magnet at a hardware store or at, some kind of a specialty shop, all you need to do is stick it in your back pocket and you're ready to go. You don't even need to have a clip on it. So a couple of considerations. It is a magnet. You want to keep it away from credit cards and wallets that have credit cards in them, so just be mindful of that. Also, you probably want to keep a very strong magnet away from a cell phone. Usually, credit cards and electronics these days are very robust and they can handle being around magnets, but you still don't want to take the risk when you have a really, really strong one. So there it is. Impossible location using a steel replica coin and a magnetic holdout to ditch it very quickly and efficiently. This can +1 your coin magic considerably, just doing this very, very simple thing, because it allows you to get rid of a coin in a very quick, very efficient, very clean way, and then allow you to show hands very, very empty. Like I said, I was able to show the hand empty even before the vanish took place. That's very, very powerful kind of situation to be in. So magnetic holdout, impossible location using a duplicate. Good luck with that and happy magicking.